last time. Hi Paula, how are you?
Feeling fine, thank you.
How are you feeling about this year's pre-kinder group? It's certainly a diverse group that we have.
Yes, it's definitely different and has its challenges.
It does, it does. I asked you in here today, Paula, just to have a chat about the diversity in children that we have, and just to see how you're coping with the children and their families. Paula, you are such a happy and warm, friendly face that our children see in the morning when their parents and families drop the children off, which is such a wonderful trait that you have, and credit to you, and such a delight to see. I've just noticed, however, with Zhang and his family, you're a little bit reserved or a little bit hesitant to engage with them. And I just wanted to have a chat with you today just to see if you have any concerns with Zhang and his parents, or any feelings as to why you might find it a little bit challenging in engaging with them.
Well, actually, I find it hard understanding Zhang and his parents. I don't want to make a mistake when speaking to them and cause upset.
Yeah, absolutely, Paula. I can definitely understand that and relate to that. It's certainly not easy when communicating with children and families where English is their second language. A way I like to look at it and to think about it is, imagine for Zhang and his family coming to our kinder, where predominantly most of the educators and children speak English, so they've come to a foreign country, and it must be so overwhelming and difficult for them also. And we want to create a space and environment that feels really culturally safe for them, and that starts with us. We have to make it our job to make them feel really safe and welcomed in this environment. I like to think of it as a privilege to have families like Zhang's family and Ada's family, and these diverse families in our kinder. We could all learn so much from them and from us to them. So I guess what I wanted to have a chat with you is that creating that environment, that safe space for these families, essentially starts with us. So we want these culturally safe environments where they feel very welcomed from the outside of the kinder, from before they step in the door. So I wanted just have a chat about some resources and some ideas that might be of interest to you, to help with your concerns, build up your confidence, and have you feeling a lot more confident in communicating and engaging in these families. So some really good resources that I'd like to chat to you about are there's a couple of, I just figured to start with, it might be a good idea to learn a little bit of basic language. So in Zhang's case, basic Chinese language that might help with communication. So really simple and basic words such as hello, goodbye, water, are you okay? There's some really great organisations based in Melbourne that offer this. So in particular, we've got the Australian Centre for Chinese Studies. They offer Zoom courses, so beginner courses. They do it via Zoom, so you can do that in the comfort of your own home, where you just do the basics. You learn some words and some of the language, and that shows them that you're putting in the effort. It helps your communication with them, and creates a much more safe environment and secure environment for our families and children. Another option that I thought about would be to look at involving a translation service or interpreter service. So I have these resources here that I've already printed off for you. You can take these with you, and that's something that we're definitely open to. is having an interpreter come in and work with you and work with our families, such as Zhang and Ada, and that just might help with the language difference and barrier until everyone sort of starts to feel more comfortable with their communication. So I'll pass them on to you to do a little bit of research. Really great organisations, really informative, really easy and simple to do. So take those and have a little bit of research. Certainly some other ideas would be some non-verbal communication ideas. So what I had in mind is you can use and create books, posters that use obviously pictures and images, focusing on communication, like images and visuals, focusing on that type of communication and those barriers and what you might like to say, just to assist with your communication. For example, you could create a booklet with different and like signs, so toilet signs and food and water signs and images, and have these images so that you can just use that as a resource and point to it when you're communicating, and they have a resource for those families and those children as well to use as a resource when communicating with you back. Just things like the toilet, or just ways, just other options, and they can sometimes, when you have images and posters and visual aids, it just is a really fun and engaging way for children as well. How do you think about those so far? Do they sound okay? Is this something that you think you could get on board with and look into?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, that last one.
Thank you. I really appreciate this. I look forward to researching and learning. While we are having this conversation, I wanted to talk to you, as I have never worked with Aboriginal or Torres Strait Island children before, and I am unsure how best to engage with Adam.
Oh, I'm so happy that you have mentioned this, Paula. I just want you to know too that as your room leader, I'm always here and willing to help, and I'm just very grateful that we're having this conversation today and you are bringing this up. Okay, Adam, yes. So Adam, a great way to engage or to start with your engagement with Adam would be through books. A really simple way to start. The great thing about books is they support Indigenous. So if we were to support Indigenous authors, so that also creates, like a great environment or conversation in the diversity in Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander culture. We are encouraging and supportive of Indigenous business and their authors. So in particular, I've got behind me, and lots of resources that you're welcome to use whenever you would like. So we've got some really great books. One in particular, we've got Adam Goodes, who is a Aboriginal ex-AFL player. He has written a series. One in particular we have here, Somebody's Land, a great age-appropriate book written by an Aboriginal author that really demonstrates how Aboriginal people lived on this land, and in a really engaging and appropriate way for young children. It's a really simple way for them to sort of follow on and learn, and some really great illustrations, and it just really speaks to how Aboriginal people lived on this land in a way children can understand. Lots of things you could do. So another way to engage with the children at Adam in particular would be to create really engaging and meaningful invitations for play. So that could look like art, You could be going outside with the children and getting some objects just from nature, from the environment. I have a really great book behind me called William the Birrarung Story, with some really beautiful Indigenous artwork and pictures that you could use for inspiration. So you collect sticks and leaves and you have your paint, and as long in a really authentic, engaging way, you could be creating some artwork that is inspired by some Indigenous art from these books. So it's a really great activity to do, and really sparks conversation and really gets the children learning about Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander culture, and which Adam as well would hopefully, by doing this, he feels quite safe and secure to then start talking. It'd be great to invite his family, possibly to come and speak as well. Going to local libraries and community centres is a great way to learn about local Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander clans or mobs or elders in our area, who might be willing to come and speak to the children, just to chat about stories and dance and art and their animals, and just that would be a really great way to engage the children and have these learning experiences. And what better way than to learn from an Aboriginal elder. Bush cooking is a really great way to embed learning experiences in our kinder. Lots of resources around when we go looking. The one thing I would really like to reiterate is that we're looking at Aboriginal businesses, authentic Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander resources. There's some great websites that you can look at. So there's Koori Curriculum, there's Kakadu Plum, we've got Yarn Strong Sister that also do workshops and different things like that. There's great museums in Victoria to visit to really educate yourself, Paula, and learn as much as you can, and then to bring that to our kinder and to Adam, and then just makes Adam feel just that it is a very safe environment for him. It's a very meaningful kinder, and that we are supporting him and his family and the diversity in culture in our kinder, and not only supporting it but really welcoming it as well. Okay, Paula, how are you feeling? It's definitely a lot of information, and we've talked about a lot right now. I want you to know that I am here to support you, and in both of our journey and making our kinder as culturally safe and aware and diverse and welcoming. I think the best way and what you should do now is just take the information I've given you and your resources. I'm glad to see that you've been writing it down. Use what I have given you. Have a look, have a bit of a research, look into it, see what feels right for you. And I'd really love to come back in a couple of weeks and have another chat, and just to see how you're feeling about it, see if you've made any progress in looking at this and what you've come up with, and just to see how you feel about it in a couple of weeks. But please know that I am here, and I am here to support you. And you are doing a wonderful job, and I'm very thankful that we've had this conversation today, and I look forward to seeing where it goes in the future.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
So Paula, thank you for coming back in today and seeing me. I just wanted to, it's been a couple of weeks now, so I just wanted to have a chat with you and see how you went with the resources and how you've been finding it. Thank you. The resources have been great. I actually started with the Australian Centre of Chinese Studies, so I'm doing a Zoom once a week, a Zoom lesson, a beginner lesson, but I'm really enjoying learning that, and it has helped so much with Zhang and his family. They actually offer a few different language, like basic words in different languages as well. So I'm looking forward to starting that with Ada, so I can communicate with Ada and some of the other children a bit better. But for now, the Chinese, it's going really well. I'm feeling a lot more confident communicating with Zhang and his family, and I feel that reciprocated from them. I feel they're a lot more comfortable with me as their educator. Yeah, so that's going really, really well. So thank you. And I did listen to what you said, and I did make a book with images and visual aids and signs, and that has helped in such a big way with all the children. And we've actually gotten together and done it together, so it's a really creative book with some of my visuals and my images and some of the drawings that the children have done, and we all use that as a resource, and we all enjoy pulling that out when we need to, and that has just become so helpful and amazing when you think about how well you can actually communicate when doing it non-verbally and not even using any speaking at all, and a huge difference. And Adam as well, I have enjoyed so much learning more about his culture and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. I had no idea. There's just so much to learn, and I'm enjoying learning it. I had no idea about the elders in our area, and I went to the local library, and they actually once a week, everyone, the Aboriginal people in our community get together, and it's very welcoming to everyone. And I'm learning so much, and the websites were great, and we've created a few. I've actually been able to create a few invitations for play, and the kids have really responded really well to it, and I have enjoyed it thoroughly. And and I actually did have a thought. I know we do our acknowledgement to country in the morning in the room with the children. But I was thinking it would be something that I would really like to have done and put outside on the fence outside our kinder, so it is seen by all before they even walk in the door, so people know that this is a really inclusive and culturally safe kinder for all diversities, especially Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. And I really think that having that externally on our fence would be a really, really great way to demonstrate that, and just engage in the local community as well. But yes, thank you. So far I'm feeling much more better about it, a lot more confident about it, and it's definitely something that I did need this chat. I did need to do the work. It's ever evolving, and the different just being open to all different cultures and diversity and abilities is just so important, and so important for the children. So it was definitely a lot of work that needed to be done by me, and I'm very grateful and very thankful to have been doing it, and ongoing. We're forever learning and forever keep learning ongoing. And yes, so no, thank you. I really appreciate it, and I hope you're happy with how I'm going. Yes, I am. Rah, rah, rah. Thank you. The end.